Hey everybody, it's Monday. It's a great Monday. Happy Monday. On our way out here to do a little showing, and I have my buyer's tour agreement that everybody has to sign. It's the first time I've worked with this buyer, actually buying and selling before, but I have not worked with them since the touring agreement. So got that nice and handy. Get them to sign that. But let's talk about what Redfin just came out with. Redfin's they're basically a Zillow competitor is what I would kind of call them. There we go. They're definitely huge on the West Coast. Huge really on the west side of the country. Not giant over here, but they are, a name that a lot of people do recognize. And have a lot of data. Basically just a huge data company that has it. And they just came out and said record low closings for the entire month of July 2024. I see that happening. That's kind of been the trend lately. And you got to think, that when you see record low closings for a month that should be peak closing month, meaning peak buyers markets, not really, but peak time for buyers to buy. You see record lows. It's kind of scary. As our inventory now is about 5,500 plus homes. Again, we're back to that number pre-COVID. Essentially, that number seems to be only to be going up. Really, the last 2 weeks, it's kind of leveled out. It's not really went up or down. It's kind of been right at about 5,500. So, it's good but continuing to spike up. It was like gaining like 1,500 homes like a week, but now it's kind of slowed down a little bit. But this data really coming out is I'm starting to change the conversation I'm having with sellers. And really for the last, we'll call it year and a half, and for sure last year, a lot of my conversation with sellers, all right, well, let's list it a little bit high. You never know. And then we can always kind of come down. Well, a conversation now, obviously, that it's always a seller's call. I'll give my suggestion. But now my conversation, right, is along with record low closings, we have record low buyers entering the market. So what my conversation with now is, hey, listen, it's not like tomorrow there's going to be all these buyers entering the market. There's probably more buyers today than will be there tomorrow. And that's just the trend of where real estate is going, right? Record low closings. So if there's more buyers today than buyers tomorrow, do we want to go ahead and list that house properly, maybe even a little bit under to try to move it quickly? I did just see a house over the weekend go multiple offers, had 3 offers, but it was priced below really what it probably should have been. It was intentionally. Obviously, I wasn't on the listing side, so I don't know what the offers were or what it went for, so you can't really predict that. But I think as a seller, right, is listing your home high might actually, we might be at the point where it can cost you money. Because what if the buyer is out there today and let's just say that, I comped your home at 300,000. You said, Steven, I want to list at 325. Sure, we'll list at 325. Well, let's say that buyer that would really like your home, he's at 300,000, would have bought it, but your home list, he's not going to look at it because it's at 325, so we're going to waste their time. Well, 5 days later, he finds another home, and on day 6, you decide, all right, Steven, no activity. You know what? Let's lower it to 300,000. Well, that buyer that would have bought it's gone. Buyers, there's not enough buyers replacing the buyers coming in. It's why record low closings, why inventory is going up. This is we're getting into no matter simple economics. It just happens. It's in the real estate industry, right? It's just economics, supply demand. Is there more things coming into the market and selling, and so to me it's very easy math to do. And if you're selling a house, you really better hope you get rid of it quickly, because it's not like there's a lot of buyers that's going to be coming into the market. There's more buyers today than there will be tomorrow. And I believe this to be true probably until rates get down in the mid-5s as far as prime. And we're around, I don't know, probably 6.5 today. I didn't look today. I should have looked before I got on this. But that's probably a pretty legitimate number because that puts FHA and VA around 5%. All right, well, you probably get some buyers coming to the market. And most of the time, it's not going to be just new buyers. It's going to be people who have a home to sell, and they want to buy, right? They want to upgrade, they want to downgrade, whatever it is, that they just don't want to get rid of their 2 or 3% interest rate. But they have, $2, $3, $4, $500,000 of equity to take it and buy something else. So it'll give them a chance. So I think inventory is probably not going to go down. It's not like all these random buyers are going to flood the market. It's going to be buyers coming into the market that also have a home to sell. And so it's really going to keep everything kind of even. Really, but you probably see a lot more cash offers with a contingent of a sale and stuff like that. But yeah, I just want to kind of make a video. I think, my conversation with sellers is always evolving with the market of what I suggest. I try to stay a step ahead. I try to anticipate what things are doing. I try to give sellers all the information and tell them, hey, this is what I would do. Ultimately, I always let them make the call. It's their home. Yeah, I've had sellers lately in the past 6 months take significantly lower offers than what we started at. And a lot of times, their houses, I don't know what necessarily the appraisals get when I'm on the selling side, but I'm sure it appraised significantly higher than what the buyers get. But it just, weird situations, you got to move, you got to sell, divorces, job changes, whatever it is. I've seen it, and I've been on both sides. I've been on the side where the buyer, we go in and negotiate real hard and get a win. And I've been on the side where, my seller's just getting beat up. And they're like, Steve, I've had it listed for 3 months. We got no other activity. I'm just going to go ahead and take it. And I understand it. I hate it because, it always kind of makes me feel, I always wonder, is there something else I could have done or should have done or, anything like that. And if there is, I always feel like I wouldn't do it. It's just the market, right? Doesn't matter who your agent necessarily is to a certain degree. The market is the market, right? There's buyers that are interested in your home, or there's buyers that's not interested. We can't make somebody buy it. My job is to kind of get people in there, give you all the information, and help and communicate. Do everything I can to assist in that process, but we can't make a buyer purchase it. But that's just something for sellers to really start thinking about. If you're thinking about selling in the next, 6 to 12 months, sometime within there, do you list your home a little high? Sometimes I'm still suggesting that. But other times, heck, you got to list your price or list your house, accordingly, and let's move this sucker quick. Otherwise, you're potentially going to be losing a lot of money because sellers or buyers are going to hit you with closing costs, they're going to hit you with repairs. We just did some stats looking at my team, right? And I've been talking about this now for about the last year, that fall throughs are just crazy, right? I think it's, I think the fall through rate's like almost a third of all contracts end up in the fall through right now for a lot of reasons. So we did our numbers, right? We just closed on our 115th house for the year. So pacing really what we've done the last couple of years in total closings. But with that being said, we had, I think it was 40-something fall throughs. So, a third or more, I think more than a third of us was a fall through. And it's for one, because we're too, if it's a bad inspection, we're going to tell people bad inspection, let's go. We're not going to try to no, let's negotiate this and try to get a deal. We want people to get a good home. So inspections do come back bad. That it's a mix of also people coming to us with crap pre-approvals from these online lenders that just pre-approve everybody. Well, 2 weeks into the contract, the buyer didn't listen to us to go with, with somebody local. It's going to be cheaper and better for them. And 2 weeks, they're like, I can't get financing. Shocker, right? And so that those do happen, but our team is on pace, probably even higher than what the typical pace is for fall throughs. As far as that goes, that's a whole heck of a lot of fall throughs. It's arguably 40 something. I mean, if we had no fall throughs, right? And a lot of those people just turned around and bought something else. But some of them turned around and was like, what, we're done. We don't want to buy. This is crap. We're out of this. That happens too. And sometimes those fall throughs leads to losing the listing, right? Because they may have had a home to sell. Now they're like, what, screw it, I'm done. I'm just going to stay in my home, whatever it is. But yeah, that's just a crazy number to go, and it's real hard. I don't want to say real hard to negotiate deals. That's not the right answer. It's, you see it from both sides, right? I see it from my seller side. not wanting to give away everything, but at the same time, there's not a lot of buyers out there. And I see it from the buyer side saying, man, my interest rate sucks, the payment sucks. I'm basically still paying near top dollar for the home. I want all these repairs done, right? I don't want to move into a home that's got a 25-year-old roof on it and have to replace something soon. I get it. Wanted to share this information. I thought that was pretty wild to think that. I didn't pay attention to what the year. I don't know when Redfin was created. Probably more than 15 years ago or so. That's a scary number for sellers to hear. And peak buying season that close. That just really means everything else is setting up to kind of keep matching that there. But as always, guys, any questions? You ever have real estate insurance? Holler anytime.